Hello everyone, this is Hulkzilla here, and today I'm not really going to be talking about anything I've been really doing recently. Today I decided to do something different because I noticed this certain title of a video which didn't necessarily make me angry, but I was kind of a bit concerned about the title, and I didn't really understand why the video was made in the first place. But after I saw the results of it, I kind of honestly laughed, and I just was super confused by why this was even a debate in the first place. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, or if you could obviously tell by the title of the video, I'm obviously talking about a video where someone made a death battle scenario between Godzilla and Sonic. Now, before anyone says anything, I just really personally think this is just a really dumb debate, and I don't really think it takes a genius to figure out who would win this debate overall, but I did like the way that this YouTuber put the sequence of the video in. Personally, I really think this is a very dumb debate, and I really don't understand the reasoning behind making it in the first place because, yeah, I really think this is a no-brainer. Like, really, you're comparing a radioactive giant dragon lizard to a chili dog eating hedgehog that literally just goes Super Saiyan when he gets the power of the Chaos Emeralds or whatever. I mean, really, guys, I don't really think this is, like, really, I don't think this is something hard to figure out or explain. But, you know, I guess for the sake of the video, and personally being the true Godzilla fan, even though when you look at this person's YouTube channel, it might seem like this is a Godzilla fan, but nah, bro, I do not think this is a Godzilla fan. Like, this guy had absolutely zero to no support for Godzilla throughout this video, at least for what it seemed to me, at least for the last part of the video, because honestly, the first two parts really didn't matter, and I'm going to explain briefly why. So basically, the first part of this video went over the movie versions of Godzilla and Sonic, and going over those versions, basically the conclusion was that Godzilla would win the overall debate because, yes, of course, Godzilla is a character known mainly for his movies, and Sonic is really not a character known for that, so of course Godzilla would win that debate. Now, for the second part of the video, on the flip side, they went over their video game counterparts, and of course, Sonic obviously wins that debate. Sonic is a video game character where most of his biggest feats come from video games, and of course would beat Godzilla overall in that debate. So honestly, I didn't really have a problem with either of those two parts of those videos. But the third part, oh boy, things are about to get juicy, trust me. Now keep in mind, before we actually go into the third part of this debate, I want to make something very clear about what this YouTuber said. Basically, this YouTuber said that Godzilla in the comics or any crossover is essentially literally carried by the fact that he has had crossover with other fictional characters.
And then we'll bring it back home to the comics to see who would win in a fight using that type of scaling. And firstly, no, I'm not going to be using any Godzillas that hinge on crossover scaling, because then Marvel Godzilla and Fortnite Godzilla will just beat up any version of Sonic that comes from those respective media. And those Godzilla's scaling is carried by crossover stuff, and I don't think that's really fair.
And when I saw this part, yeah, like, you can tell I obviously had to laugh, and I just could not take this part seriously whatsoever. So basically, anytime Godzilla has crossovered with like the Marvel, DC, Fortnite, whatever universe, basically what this guy is saying that automatically whenever Godzilla wins a fight or beats anyone in those fictional universes, that automatically uplifts Godzilla's power whatsoever and just makes him automatically a godlike deity or something. To me, yeah, like that is just a horrible and terrible argument to make, because first of all, I feel like the only reason why this was ever mentioned was only because of the fact that this guy preemptively knew that if he didn't mention crossover Godzilla, then it would likely give Archie Sonic a chance to actually beat him. Secondly, I mean, come on, man, like, you're really going to use a bullcrap argument that Godzilla is literally just carried by the fact that he has had crossovers with other powerful fictional characters? If Godzilla is literally carried by the fact that he has had crossovers with other fictional characters, then why is it that Godzilla was considered a threat to all life in the Godzilla vs. Destroyer movie? Why is it that when in Godzilla Goes to Hell comic that Godzilla is capable of threatening both God and the devil, and then on top of that threatening multiple other universes? Why is it that Godzilla, when he fights the Greek gods, that Godzilla is able to easily defeat and overpower all of the Greek gods? And, you know, the list, of course, just goes on and on. My point is, why do you think is it that Godzilla is considered a very powerful and overpowered character in fiction? Really, like, is it because of the fact that he's carried by the fact that he has beaten other fictional characters in his crossovers? Or do you think it's because Godzilla is considered to be an anomaly amongst fictional characters?
Destroyed and recreated his entire cosmology during the infamous crossover with Mega Man. So yeah, in order to find out where he would scale, we're just going to talk about how big this cosmology is.
So yeah, of course, as I mentioned before, this guy obviously brings up Archie Sonic. Now, for those of you who don't know, Archie Sonic is basically just an overpowered, broken version of Sonic, which, you know, you could take any bullcrap, like, overpowered or broken feat of any fictional character and literally just apply it to Archie Sonic. Now, figuratively, that's obviously not true, but my point is, yeah, Archie Sonic was literally created and designed to be an overpowered character. By the way, he's non-canon.
During the infamous crossover with Mega Man.
Now, even with keeping that in mind, Archie Sonic barely beats Godzilla when it comes to the comic crossovers in this part of the video, or at least based on his analysis or whatever. But honestly, even without the crossover knowledge of Godzilla, I really don't think Archie Sonic has a chance of beating Godzilla. And this is exactly why. Again, as I've already mentioned before, Godzilla literally fighting God and the devil himself in Godzilla Goes to Hell. Godzilla literally overpowering the Greek gods in the comic book crossover that he had with those characters. Godzilla vs. Destroyer literally becomes a threat to all life. Like, do you really think this is a character that Sonic is just going to automatically beat just because of the fact that Archie Sonic exists? Like, I mean, come on, man. How can you call yourself a Godzilla fan when you are literally downplaying Godzilla by just saying, oh, well, he's carried by the fact that he's had crossovers with other fictional characters? Godzilla is a character that is overpowered and broken in general. He doesn't need crossovers to necessarily make him look that way. They are simply just there just to amplify or to just represent how powerful and broken this character is. Also, I'd just like to mention that Sonic himself has also had crossovers with DC before, and you know, again, using this crossover logic just really doesn't make any sense. Because, I mean, honestly, if Godzilla or Sonic were to cross over into the DC universe, who do you really think is going to be the bigger threat? I don't think you really need to answer that question. Also, I think it's absolutely hilarious how you've mentioned that none of the crossovers Godzilla has had are canon to the character itself. Bro, it's a fictional dinosaur nuclear powered dragon. Why does it matter if anything he does is canon to him? Secondly, if you're really going to use that logic, why are you even mentioning Archie Sonic in the third part of your video? Because you know damn well before you even made this video that Archie Sonic is not canon to the Sonic universe or whatever. Like, come on, man. Like, don't try to play dumb here. So overall, in conclusion, yeah, I don't really know. I think this guy is just personally a fake Godzilla fan, basically just because of the fact that this video even exists. And I really don't even know why it exists. I just cannot even fathom the idea or the fact that this video even exists. Like, this is just completely this is just a terrible debate to begin with. Also, I'd just like to mention that my upcoming video of Heavy versus Malga is coming up in my death battle discussion video. I haven't really kept track of which episode it is, but I'll be sure to update it by the time I make the video. So yeah, if you also just like death battle debate in general, you can check out my other videos for that. And yeah, I just wanted to bring that up real quick.